Hello, this is Arthur again, and today I have this very nice 2014 CLS550 with 132,000 miles. And I've worked on this car a few times before for different reasons. This time it came because he had a oil leak. He got diagnosed with upper timing cover leaks and as well as upper oil pan leak, which it did have, but I also found few other leaks and few other items that was necessary to address at this time, since I was already kind of valuing their type of items that is commonly failing on these engines, and this engine particularly needed the attention. So the oil leak was pretty decent. It was pretty oily under the car. It was cleaned before it came to me. However, you could still see fresh oil on the bottom covers as well as the engine. Now let me show you around the car real quick and I'll show you what was replaced. This car does have E63 wheels on it. It looks really nice. I really like the color. It's a very nice color. It is a Lake interior, in good condition car. The owner and his wife are very nice people, and I really appreciate them bringing it to me. So let me show you. Okay, so upper timing covers are a common area where these engines leak. You have to make sure you use new hardware, clean the surface area perfectly, as well as let it sit so you can dry before you start the engine, or you're gonna have a leak again. As well as you have to replace the seals or the magnets by themselves. I replaced the seals this time since they do look fairly new and I don't think there's anything wrong with them. There's no codes and I didn't see any leaks in the plugs. So usually you see oil in there. As well as I saw coolant leak from one of the radiator hoses, but I did replace this hose as well as this other hose, this plastic line, and O-rings here and there, thermostat O-rings. I did replace these O-rings that go on these lines. There was a few things that was left loose. It wasn't secured well for whatever reason. It was either the dealership looked at some stuff and they didn't put it back or what, so I put back everything I found that needed to be put back. I did. So the oil leak is fixed now. I did run the car and it runs good. There's no leaks. I checked, neither there's coolant leaks, so I'm pretty happy about that. It's a pretty big job. It did take me about 3 days to complete. You do need to remove the subframe to access the bottom of the engine. I do have another video on one of these cars where I go more in detail on how to do it. I'll link it in the description box below. You guys can check it out if you have a car with this engine, which is fairly common, or the V6 version of these. This would be similar kind of a job. This one is a rear-wheel drive, so it's a little bit less work than a 4MATIC car would be. However, it's still plenty of work to get all this stuff done. All right, let me lift it up and show you the bottom of the car. Okay, let's take a look at the bottom of the car. It is all cleaned up now. However, I believe this car was at the dealership before it came to me, and they did pressure wash the engine and it was fairly clean. However, you could still see oil stains here and there, and also you could see fresh oil leaking. And the main leak I saw on the upper oil pan was coming where the lower timing cover and upper oil pan meet each other at this line. And on the other parts of the oil pan, I couldn't really see any fresh oil leak, but maybe it was just cleaned, that's why I couldn't really see more. But at this point I could see it's leaking from there and it needed to be resealed for sure. So this is all cleaned up, as much as possible. I had all this down, subframe down. If you want to see, I have another video on one of these cars where I do the job completely, and it is a pretty big job. It takes a lot of cleaning, a lot of prepping, make sure your sealing surfaces are clean and so the sealant can seal properly. Usually with this job I let the sealant sit overnight, which it did in this case. And then I filled the engine with oil and started. This already has oil inside, and I have started it. There's coolant inside as well. It is very important to let it sit, or it's not gonna cure and you're gonna have a leak again. What else I can show you here? There's not much going on here. There's a little dent here. Looks like someone lifted from here. It's not really gonna make any difference, but it is there. Not a big deal. There was coolant leaking from this hose right here. It was wet. I replaced this hose. I replaced a few other hoses. Whoever worked on this car previously, whoever did the water pump, they really liked to use sealant, so they sealed up all the hoses where it connects to the radiator, water pump, and other hoses. Wherever they could find, they put sealant on the, instead of replacing the O-rings or the hoses, they just put sealant. And I had a really difficult time removing all these hoses out. Each one of them took a lot of fighting, and then I had to clean all the other ends, you know, inside the radiator and inside the water pump to be able to reuse them. So it's quite a bit of more work than I was expecting it to be. Luckily it's all done. The driver's side motor mount was in really good shape. I replaced that. This one was not that bad, so we left this one for now. And now let me show you the parts that are replaced. So these are the parts that came out. These are the hoses that I was talking about where sealant was used. And it was really difficult to pull them out. They were really glued in there. This one was not that bad. However, this one, I had to rip it basically in pieces to be able to get it out. It wasn't coming. And this one, this side is even worse. This is the part that went into the radiator. It just wasn't coming out at all. This is the motor mount, which is really shot. Fluid has leaked out of it. I'm sure there's still some more fluid. There you go. This is the oil filter. It was fine. This is the grommet for the dipstick. Goes on the upper oil pan. This little plastic cap goes on the oil filter housing, and this can leak also. I'm sure this one was leaking. It was kind of hard to tell. You have to replace this one. Cheap part and good to replace. There's two of them. I don't know what happened to the other one. It goes on the upper oil pan. This is for the oil return line gasket on both turbos. Oil cooler gasket. This one is very flat, so it was leaking. As well as oil filter housing gasket. This one was not too terrible, but it was already pretty flat compared to a new one. Oil cooler lines, they go on top of the oil filter housing. Thermostat gaskets. This one, I don't remember this one. What was this one from? These are upper timing cover bolts. These are oil pressure switch washers. Adjuster magnet seals. Some various O-rings that go on the turbo oil return lines, two of them, and then a few of them are on the coolant hoses. This broke off as well. It's a coolant line because this one was used sealant so much that it just popped off as soon as I tried to remove it to replace the seals. Got a new oil cap as well, as this one's cracked, and as well as new oil, new coolant. And I'm pretty sure I'm forgetting a few other things, but this is the main things that got replaced. This one, I don't know, I can't remember what this is from. Oh, this is from the oil filter seal. That's what it is. Alright, that's about it for this one. So it's kind of a short video. It's been really hot lately, and it's kind of hard to film at the same time with the heat. Once the weather cools down or something really interesting comes around, I'll try to make longer videos with more wrenching. Thank you for watching. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Have a good day.